Hey everybody, Zee Garcia here, and today we are going to become Claire Harper and solve some mysteries in Suspects. Suspects here comes with 3 cases, 3 intriguing mysteries, as it says, and this is a whodunit type game in which you are going to be following clues, talking amongst yourselves, though you can certainly play solitaire, and then ultimately trying to answer some questions that the game poses, like, who did it? How did they do it? What did they use? That kind of question, the usual things you'll be required to answer when you are playing this kind of game. But this one does some interesting things to streamline the entire experience of it. So I'm going to be showing you the first case called Murder at Allister Manor. I'm not going to be spoiling anything. I'm going to be showing you the setup part of the game. Basically, the things you get to set up the table, and I'm looking at the very first card, the very first person you are talking to. So don't worry about me spoiling anything. This is something you would see, again, in the very first few minutes of the game, so it shouldn't be a problem. And then we'll come back up here and I'll tell you what I think of this box. So here we go. So here we're taking a look at the first scenario that comes in the box. And again, there are 3 in the box. This is Chapter 1, Murder at Allister Manor. And again, I will let you know I'm not going to be spoiling anything here. I'm just showing you the few things you would see anyway in the first 4 minutes or so of the game. So you are presented with a deck of cards. These cards are numbered already and organized with this sort of cover image here so that you don't see behind the top one. There's this envelope here that has the solution in it. We are going to put that away. And then we've got this large sheet here that lets you know that you are playing Chapter 1, and it gives you an introduction. It tells you Fort William, Scotland, 21st of December, 1934, and everything that is going on with your character, how she comes to learn of this murder and what it is that she would like to, attempt to do to figure out what happened. It will also let you know as you go through it what's going on, who is involved, the players, and then it tells you over here to take the map of the manor, document A, and then draw the first card, card 1. So the document of the manor would be this here, and this is going to give you a reference to the layout of this manor, this location. And you'll see right on it places you can go to already and investigate once you're done, finishing this setup part. So these rooms, like the music room, conservatory, drawing room, all of these places have a number next to them. That number corresponds to a card that you may draw and look at and read and gather more information. That card is likely to send you towards other cards that will represent people you can talk to, clues you can look at more closely, etc. So this is always in play. Then we have over here the breakdown of what you are attempting to do. So your goal is to unmask the murderer, who's the killer, what's the motive, various things like that. And then next to it, a card count, 1 through 30, 31 through 45, 46 or more, or just the wrong answer. After 30 cards, after you've looked at 30 cards, that includes even the very first one they're telling you to draw right here, you are encouraged to, with the other players, or if you're playing solitaire by yourself, jot down your answers for these things. If you later on, after looking at more than 30 cards, say when you hit card 45, or any time before that, but you need to decide by 45, if you've changed your mind, you then will change the answer. You'll jot that down somewhere and remember that you changed your mind here, at this column. And then again after 46. After the 46th card, you no longer need to count the cards, you can look at the rest of them. And at the end of the game, once we read what's in here, then you will figure out how many points you get. If you guessed the correct answer between 1 and 30 and didn't change your mind, that's worth 5 points for each of these. And so on for the other ones. If you got them much later, then you get just 3 points. If you never got it at all, of course, no points at all. So there we go. That's what they tell you. Then they tell you to look at card 1. Card 1 is this card right here. Thomas Smith. this is a person you are going to converse with. And we flip this over, and this person gives you some conversation about what happened to Miss Mary, the victim in this scenario. And then it tells you down here to consult the family tree, document B. So we would look at this one here. This is document B is seen on the back there, and then we have a family tree for the characters in the story. And again, you always have this available to you, and once again, some numbers below characters that you can go talk to whenever you want to once we're done right here. Another thing is at the bottom of this card, it tells you that you can question him about a couple of things, and then the card number that corresponds to that. So that's what this deck will do. You just do this as much as you want to. You follow these clues, go anywhere, talk to anyone, counting, though, the number of cards you've looked at so that you can keep track of this. Once you have gone through all the cards, because you don't need to stop early, you can go through it all, then you are going to open that envelope up, check your answers, and see how well you did. And that's basically all there is to it. So there you go. That's how the game plays out. That's the setup and the beginning of this mystery. Let's go ahead and go back up top. Let me tell you what I thought of it. There have been a lot of games of this type lately, these whodunit type games. In fact, I just reviewed some not too long ago, a series called Crime Zoom. Those are standalone cases. There's 3 in here. But I think this one does a good amount to stand out from those games. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Starting from the top with the theme and the setting. Immediately, I think that sets it apart. This has a lovely 1930s setting. Beautiful locations, strong, interesting protagonist in this character, this Claire Harper, who they even tell you about who Claire Harper is in the rulebook here. She was born in 1910. She's an avid reader of Agatha Christie, a world traveler. And she is more British than 5 o'clock tea. Oxford University admitted her after implementing So they talk about all these things about her, who she is. Her father is a well-known, respected individual. Very neat. So I like that. I like that they give it a strong protagonist. Lots of work, it's clear, went into making this world feel complete and having an access point to it. So very good. The aesthetics, I think, are excellent. There is just gorgeous artwork throughout that really helps immersion, helps usability as well. There's a lot of good graphical design choices, and just aesthetically, the whole thing is a well put together package. High usability in this one. So no problems there. I also like that the cards have that nice large format. Not necessary for something like this, but well done in the large format maps, and as you saw, the map of the manor, and everything is just well produced and well done. Really great work. The replay value. There are 3 stories here. None are replayable, so that you can play them all once. Each one is easy to reset, though, and nothing is destroyed in this game. So you could reset them very easily, and then hand this off to someone else to play. So that's good. I like that the players also can kind of set the pace of how quickly they want to go through these themselves. The game lists 90 minutes for an adventure. I would say that's about right, maybe an hour, maybe 90 minutes. But I like that based on how much discussion the players are having, how much you are discussing and conversing about what you're encountering, you can change that. I like that you can, to follow a clue is extremely simple. You just grab the one you want to go to or talk to or whatever you're doing. You read that. You can reread it. That card is yours now for the rest of the story. And then you can discuss that one. You can link it to previous things. Everything you've seen is available to you on the table. So I like that it feels not slow, but not rushed. You can sort of set that yourself. The game arc. There's lots of writing in this one. I like that your expectations, what the questions you are supposed to answer, are asked up front. You know what you're supposed to do in order to score some victory points. It feels freeing to give you that information, and the game itself and the structure is very freeing. I like that you can do things in whatever order you want to. You do not normally do one thing and it locks you out from doing another one unless something is logical and it would happen that way. So I like that. I think the game arc here feels really good as you get closer to the number of cards the thresholds between victory points. You are then really starts to get tense as you need to decide which thing do we look at so when we hit card 30, we can lock our guess. And then you sort of come back down from that pressure and you can look at a few more cards until you start to worry about the next guess period, right? The next time. So I really like that. It's a nice structure. It's a really good scoring system and interesting. The ease of play. The cases are very tough in this, I would say. It's certainly very tough to get perfect scores. I'm not great at these kinds of games, I would say, but these are pretty tough cases. There's some red herrings. There's certainly a lot of subtle clues that the game will present to you. But I do like the guess system, the scoring sort of matrix, like I said. And I do like how everything at the end is explained to you in the little envelope, the sort of a fold-out. You'll read that and it explains to you how you should have gotten that information, and then in parentheses, the card number that information would have been found on. And it's usually not a single card. It might say you should have found out about this because this person did that. Card 30, 47. So they tell you where that stuff would have been, so you can go back and check and think, well, yeah, okay, I guess I read over that. I didn't really think about what that said. I didn't make that connection. They justify themselves. That doesn't take care of the red herrings, unfortunately, but I think that's a good way to do it. Not just tell you what happened, but show me how you expected me to get it. Lastly, tactics, luck, strategy. This is a fun mix of those things. It's a fun mix of having to decide and guess on things. Or guess, I should say. It's sometimes you feel pretty strongly about something. Sometimes you're getting a feeling for something. So you'll jot that down and you go with that till something better comes along. Which nothing better might. That might be right or you didn't get it. So I like that. It's a nice mix of that, going with the gut, and things that you definitely know. There's an interesting system in the game, which they point out right here actually, where you'll take two cards and match them up to each other. And if a little line matches, then you can definitely say this shoe print is the same size as this person's shoe size. This thing is definitely the murder weapon. That kind of thing is very interesting. So I like that some things are set in stone. And I like that when you talk to a new person, immediately you can be like, ooh, check their shoe size. No, that's not right. Or, is that something they could wear? No, that's not right. I really like that system. I think it's clever. It gives you something to do that is not just reading text, but actually matching up cards and seeing what you get. I feel like the internal logic in the game for each of the cases is sometimes a little hard to fathom, a little hard to follow, but I don't think that the players of this game are going to feel betrayed by the game. I know I've certainly played games in the past where at the end, when I read the answer to what I was supposed to be discovering, I feel a little betrayed. I feel like, yeah, I got played. And in this one, I did not feel that way. Did I miss things? Yes. But I feel like it's because I'm not a great investigator more than because they didn't do a good job of giving me information. But yes, there's a good amount of red herrings. That's going to be tricky. So there you go. Having said all of that, I think this is one of the better games of its type. I would definitely recommend this one over a lot of other series that do this kind of thing. If you're interested in the setting, if you like the Agatha Christie novels, you like the time period, you like that feeling of, there's even an Egyptian one in here. That setting, the central character, right? Knives Out, that kind of thing, that movie. Then I think this is going to be a good one for you. So I really enjoyed it. Suspects is going to get a strong 8 out of 10 from me. That is a seal of approval. I heard there's already a sequel coming out with more cases, Suspects 2. So I'm excited for that. This is good stuff. Keep them coming. So there you go. That is Suspects, 8 out of 10. Thank you, everybody, for checking this out with me. Good hunting out there as you discover clues yourself, and I'll see you on the next one.